גדול האדם חפץ לעמוד לפני קונו ראוי הוא עניין תרת מחשבות יישוב הדעת. A person's main way to grow and to be able to stand before his creator in the proper spiritual form is if he works on the matter, the subject of purifying his thoughts and getting the settling of the mind. A person will be able to have Yishuv Hadat. Yishuv Hadat means a person feels at ease, a person feels calm, a person feels happy, a person feels that I'm in not a stressful situation, I don't have anxiety right now, I'm not thinking about a million things, and I'm doing things fidgety, or doing things stressed out, I'm doing things with like, come on, let's go, I have to be somewhere, I have to do something. Rather, a person does with Yishuv Hadat, I'm totally focused, I'm totally zoned in, I'm totally relaxed, and I'm not in a situation where I'm upset or stressed out. When the person retains this state of mind, he is at total peace with himself. And when you're at peace with yourself, then you'll be able to go and serve Hashem with simcha. As the Pasuk says in Tehillim, chapter 100, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha. Serve Hashem with joy. Now, how does a person get joy? It says, Ki e simcha ki atarat asfekot. The Rama writes in Torah Ha'olam, the Rama writes in one of his Sfarim, the Rosh Isilis, he writes that the biggest joy is hatarat asfekot. When a person unravels and a person gets rid of doubts, that is the biggest joy for a person's soul. So therefore, a lot of times, people are very, very into making sure that parnasat tovah. I don't want to have doubts. How am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to pay my car? How am I going to pay my bills? I want to have no doubts. I want to be relaxed and make sure that I have everything taken care of. And when a person gets that job, when a person gets that house, a person has that way to pay those bills, he feels relaxed. He feels calm. He feels settled. He feels hatarat asfekot. He unraveled those doubts. He got rid of those doubts. Now he has no doubts in regards to how he's going to pay. But in life, we have to know that really this is the soul's way of being happy, because spiritually, you need to do that for yourself and get rid of all doubts in general, not just with money. A person wants to feel happy. How am I going to be happy? A person has a doubt. How do I fulfill my purpose in this world? A person has a doubt. What am I here for? What does Hashem want from me in this moment? These are also doubts that a person's soul gets bothered by. And a person has to work on unraveling those and settling those issues. And he says, a person naturally has a desire to come to peace with himself, the peace with his environment, to come to peace with his situation and his problems. A person will come to real joy. Why does a person not come to real joy? A person buys new pairs of shoes. A person buys a new car. A person gets a new watch. He thinks it's going to make him happy, but it's a fleeting happiness though. It's not he goes out to eat at a restaurant. It's a fleeting happiness. It's not a real happiness. Why? Because that action didn't really unravel a doubt. It didn't really satisfy a doubt. So therefore, that's why a person has to make sure that to really be happy, he has to go and do something spiritual, which means to give himself the ability to overcome anxiety, to gain more emunah, to be able to get rid of doubts that he has in his life, not necessarily just because it's nice and fancy, will it make you happy? It's not a real joy. The real joy is when you go and get rid of doubts that your soul has, whether it be financially, spiritually, physically. כל עוד שאינו משלים נשמתו, לא יבוא אדם לידי ביטול ספקות שבקריבו, כי נשמת אדם חפצה משתוקקת תמיד לידי חיבור נצחי עם הבורא. Our soul naturally wants to be connected deeply with our Creator. And when a person has doubts about Hashem or doubts about his life, it takes away from his connection to Hashem. And that's why the more Torah you learn, the closer you get to Hashem, the more you understand about Hashem, the less doubts you have, and the more emunah you have, is the less the doubts that you have about parnasah in your life will fester and bother you. Rather, your emunah will be able to smooth that out, and you'll become closer to Hashem. And that's what the soul really wants. The soul wants to conquer these doubts so it can come closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and have a bond. A lot of times, people feel like they have a hole inside their neshama. I need to fill it. I feel like something's missing. And they try to fill it with physical things. And those physical things do not get rid of those doubts and make them more of a connection to their Creator. So therefore, that hole gets deeper and deeper and deeper until a person finally finds spirituality. He feels so empty. He finally goes to look for Hashem. And then he starts filling his hole with spirituality. As we know, the soul works differently. The physicality works differently than the spirituality. Physicality, if the vessel's full, it cannot hold any more. By spirituality, it's opposite. The more the vessel holds, the more it can hold. The less the vessel holds, the less it will hold. So therefore, a person to know, to fill your gap, to fill the hole in your neshama, you have to do it for spirituality, not just physicality. And he says that that's why a lot of times we know that the soul is really giving us emotions that we don't know come from the soul. For example, newness. People love new. People love to read the news, especially now. They want to consume a lot of news. And it's very exciting to hear. Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear? And that really stems from the fact that the neshama wants new things. What does it mean, new things? New spirituality. He wants new divrei Torah. I want a new chizuk. People love the daily chizuk. People want to hear new divrei Torah. They want chidushim. And a person has to know that all these things stems from the soul wanting newness. People like to go away. People like to go on vacation. What do they want? They want that peace of mind. They want that ability to say relaxed. But really, our soul is looking for that in a spiritual sense. That through spiritually we should become self-sufficient and be able to give ourselves that relaxing emunah, vitamin bitachon, as opposed to going somewhere and it'll be fleeting, it'll just be physical, and then it'll be temporarily. It won't really give us yeshuv adat. So therefore, he says, a person has to understand that this neshama is giving him that feeling, and he has to attend to it spiritually. As the pasuk says in Tehillim, that there is no peace in me because of my sins. The person who does sins, obviously, this will lead him to even more doubts, more anxiety, less emunah. People right now, people are very nervous, right? And those who have more emunah, they'll be less nervous. Those who have less emunah, they'll be more nervous. And where does that emunah come from? Our emunah is affected by, if we learn more, we get emunah. If we do more sins, our emunah will be lowered. Our emunah will be less and less. Therefore, as long as you don't have that connection to the Creator, you won't have that yeshuv adat. And the prime way to get yeshuv adat, to get peace of the mind, is Shabbat. That's what's very important, this Shabbat, to keep the Shabbat Bereshit, as Shabbat tells us to disconnect from the world, to not watch this news anymore, to sit in Shabbat, enjoy what it is, and to go and say, Kadosh Baruch Hu told us to rest, and not to think about the world, to think about our spiritual neshama. It's a day for neshama. People say it's a day of rest for our bodies, but a day of connection for our souls. We have to do more mitzvot. Hashem gave us double portion of our soul, not for no reason. So therefore we should zocher that in Shabbat, we're cut out from the week, and we go and we become connected more to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that will be a bracha for the entire week. And on Shabbat, we have this peace of mind. You wake up Shabbat morning, I don't have to run anywhere, I'm going to shul to pray, I'm not thinking about anything, I'm very simple-minded, and B'ezrat Hashem, we shall be able to continue that through the entire week as well.